Hiya, I'm Shelly, aka Seashells, and this is Seashells Show and Tell. Today I'm going to show and tell you an easy polymer clay millefiori technique, the Bullseye. Millefiori, as you may know, is Italian for million flowers. It was originally a glass technique that polymer clay has embraced, and you make a long cane of your design, which you can slice and make a million different things with. And today we're going to learn how to make this very simple little bullseye technique. Here's some other canes that I've made, and here's various different beads that I've made from different canes that I've made in the past. So to get started with today's technique, we're going to start with 3 colors. You can make it with more colors or just with 2 colors if you like, but today I'm going to show you with 3 colors. And right now I have all my colors flattened. I used my pasta machine, 1 round part. Basically, what I say for the bullseye, it's very simple. 1 round and 1 flat. Wrap the flat round the round. What's simpler than that? So I'm going to start with my pink round and I made the yellow in 2 different thicknesses. And what I usually like to do is, sometimes it's flat enough to just use as is, but I usually like to flatten off a top square of it, wrap your yellow, wrap whichever color you're using, I'm using yellow, you can get the reference, around the pink. And if you keep it nice and round as you're going, then it should butt up pretty evenly. And then just cut with your clay cutting tool, whatever it may be. And then you work together the seams. Now, this is a good time to point out, yes, this is a paring knife. This is a dull paring knife that never goes back in the kitchen, because once you've used anything with polymer clay, it never goes back in the kitchen. That goes for towels too. I've got a towel that I only use for polymer clay. So there's our first round, and I used the fatter of the yellow. And now I'm going to use, the thin. The purple is very thin, and again it's starting to rip there. So you can flatten. You don't have to have a pasta maker to flatten. I just wanted to use my pasta maker to make it really perfect to show you, but I usually don't get out the pasta maker, and I usually just kind of do it by hand. Now you see on this side we've got a little extra purple, so I'm going to just cut it down a little bit so it's not in the way. I try to keep, when I'm making a cane, I try to keep it all roughly the same length. And there again, we're button up, so then we slice that off. And usually it works together, it works itself together really well. If you've conditioned your clay and rolled it out, and it's been soft already, then it's probably going to be pretty soft when you roll it together. So now we have pink, yellow, and then the purple. And let's see which one next. Let's use the pink next. That's the fun with the bullseye technique, is that obviously if you're only using 1 color, or I mean 2 colors, 2 colors like I did in this peanut butter and jelly cane. If you're only using 2 colors, you just go back and forth on those 2 colors. But you could still vary the thickness, which is another fun part of making the bullseye cane. And that's why, like I said, I made the yellow 2 different thicknesses. I want to show you something else that I just discovered. I only just recently discovered these cool tools with the metal balls, Sculpey tools. And sometimes if your seam is a little bit difficult to work with just your fingers, you can, I've just discovered, like I said, just discovered this. Sometimes the ball helps you make a perfect seam. These are bigger and not as difficult, so they're easy to do with your hands. But other seaming, I have really found that ball to work well. It wasn't something I had learned before. So let's see, let's use the thin yellow now. And now we're getting down to not having as much of the clay, but if it goes all the way around, we'll be lucky. That was supposed to be a flat. Maybe I'll make that a little bit flatter. Make it a little bit, oh no, because I didn't cut it, that one yet. I forgot which one I cut. And I also try to make the seams on the opposite sides, kind of, so kind of bury the seam in between. So you don't have one end, when you're done, you don't have one end with all the seams. And this didn't quite go all the way around on all the parts. So I'll just show you, then it's really easy. We have a little extra there. Cut that extra. Maybe stick it right there. And there's not enough extra there, so I'll use this part. Now the purple got stuck on that, so we'll rip that off. That'll go into the waist part. And you don't have to be precise, just fill in the gaps. Or don't. I mean, if you could have a lopsided bullseye on purpose, perhaps. And again, my clay is pretty soft, so I can just roll it together with my hands pretty easily. Okay, what color next? Let's use a little more of the purple before let's see. We're gonna run out of colors soon, you know. That's when we stop, is when we have used as many colors as we have cut. Oops. I try to keep your colors separate, and of course, like when I was rolling these out and using my hands especially, I started with the yellow because it's the lightest. Some coloring will get on your hands a little bit, and so you want to you do your lightest colors first. Now parts of this it almost got all the way around, and then again we'll just use these extra bits to fill in to make it go all the way around, because we're making a bullseye. If we're making something else, we don't have to. I'm going to do this a little bit sloppy so we can hurry it up. I suppose in subsequent videos this part might be sped up video, right? So you don't have to watch all the little bits in and out. And the pink isn't going to go all the way around. Maybe if we just flatten it some more. This is a nice flatten sphere that came with a set of tools I got at some point, but you don't have to use anything that fancy. I oftentimes just grab my lip gloss, and as you know, I like the big fat lip gloss, and so you can use anything that's round, you can use to roll it out. So let's see if we can make the pink go all the way around now. Again, I'm going to be sloppy just to get to the end of the video, because I just realized there's no going back and doing this over again. Because I'm not going to be able to rip all these pieces apart. Alright. And I'd like to finish with the yellow on the outside again. See, since this is so soft, I'm using Sculpey, FYI. I bought a couple packages of those mixed packs of Sculpey that had several different colors in it, just so I could experiment with some new colors that I hadn't tried before. And I found that very interesting. And I think there's a couple colors that you can get in those mixed color packages that you can't always find as easily in a bigger block. So I've been having fun playing with these colors. Yeah, let's try to finish with the yellow if we can get it to stretch. And again, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect unless you want it to be perfect. Some of my bullseyes have turned out quite sideways, which is fun also. And see, we'll just use the extra here, smoosh it all together. Yeah, I guess the reason I was saying that I'm using Sculpey for this is that if you were to use a Fimo or a harder a harder polymer clay. It does, harder polymer clays hold the millefiori better, perhaps, especially if you're trying to make it smaller later. The harder polymer clays will hold the pattern better, but the softer clays work easier to smush it together. So here we have a bullseye cane, yellow on the outside, and we'll give it a couple more rolls, and let's see what it looks like on the inside. And I just pushed straight down, so it's going to be really smushy. I should have cut a little bit. I never get the cutting quite perfect. You have to try it a few times to see how squishy it is. See, at this point, I'd probably put it in the refrigerator for a while, or leave it alone for a while, so I got it quite squishy there. But you can see the pretty layers of the bullseye. And that's a pretty easy bullseye there to make. And as I showed you, these are the canes that I had made earlier for my examples. And here's some beads that I made with this cane. See, on the outside of this cane is gold, so when you put bullseyes onto a cane that's similar in color, the outside of the bullseye kind of disappears, whereas if you use one of the colors that was inside the bullseye, it gives it a completely different effect. I'm also really loving using molds that I've been making, and these bullseyes work really well to go into the molds and make some really cute things. So I hope you like my little bullseye. Like I said, try it with only 2 colors, try it with more colors. Please share and comment. This is my first tutorial video. Thank you so much for watching. There will be more to come. I hope you liked it. I love making polymer clay. I love millefiori, but I also have lots of other crafts that I'd like to show you, and please leave a comment. Ideas beget ideas. Let me say that again. Ideas beget ideas. I love to hear your ideas, and I love to share my ideas with you. That's why I'm starting this show and tell, Seashells Show and Tell YouTube page. Please subscribe and comment. I think I already said that, but as I said, it's my first one, so I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you for watching. Live love. Bye-bye.